In our first story, the three main teacher unions in Ghana have vowed to go ahead with a planned strike over salary arrears owed them by government.
At a news conference on Tuesday, they stated they will not back down unless the arrears totaling some 15 million Ghana cedis is settled by February 29, 2016. The unions comprising NAT, NAGRAT and CCT also challenged claims made at a recent Ghana Education Service news conference about the teachers' complaint. Matilda Wamaga was at that conference.
At a news conference in Accra on Friday, the Director General of the Ghana Education Service, GES, Mr. Jacob Kaur, stated that some payment of salary arrears of teachers delayed because some submitted fake documents and certificates. National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, and Coalition of Concerned Teachers at a news conference on Tuesday, however, denied these claims.
It is on record that, 1, the BNI has inspected teacher certificates at least 2 times last year. 2, the Public Service Commission also did a nationwide audit of teachers' credentials. That was last year. 3, the District Directorate of Ghana Education Service also carried out an audit of teachers' credentials last year. 4, the Controller and Accountant General's Department also carried an audit last 2 years ago, the last 2 years. 5, the Ghana Education Service headquarters, led by the IPPD session, also carried an audit in 2014. In spite of all these, ladies and gentlemen, our teachers who are now crying out loud were not found culpable. So on what basis is our Director General saying they possess fake certificates? We find the assertion a baseless criminalization and defamation of the hard-won reputation of a lot of affected teachers.
On the issue of non-payment of salary arrears, the union said the assertion that all arrears were paid on 1st January is also not true.
The big question then is how Director General can refer a list of 27,000 teachers to Fair Wages and Salaries Commission for their action on the 12th of January and still claim that these teachers have been paid on the 1st of January. The fact of the matter is that Ghana Education Service has just submitted documents of 27,000 teachers to the audit service after 2 years of inaction. It is also worthy of note that the Controller and Accountant General's Department did not pay salaries on the 1st of January. It has never been the convention. January salaries were paid on the 24th of January 2016, and that of December 2015 was paid on the 18th of December 2015. There was no supplementary pay run on the 1st of January. Therefore, the claim by the Director General that the salary arrears were paid on the 1st of January was highly untenable and could not be the truth. On the issue of payment of outstanding car maintenance allowance and transfer grant, the fact of the matter is that Government of Ghana, under the leadership of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, has failed to pay teachers their allowances since 2012. Government owes an estimated amount of 16 million Ghana cedis over the 4-year period. And out of this, an amount of only 1 million Ghana cedis could be released for payment of the first quarter of 2015.
The unions, however, maintained that until all arrears are paid by 29th February, they will embark on a nationwide strike.
Employment and Labour Relations Minister Haruna Idrisu has already impressed on the agitated teacher unions to rescind their decision to go on the strike.
Well, at that press conference that Matilda reported on, the teachers' representatives said that they want all the arrears paid by the 29th, but the minister assured them government is working hard to avert the planned industrial action.
The Employment and Labour Relations Minister addressed journalists after the meeting attended by representatives of the 3 teacher unions, NAT, NAGRAT, and the Coalition of Concerned Teachers.
We are close to a decision of a sort, which will guide how we respond to the issues that they have put on the table. The outstanding arrears in terms of those who have worked for 3 months, and the Auditor General validating the data, and the Ministry of Finance and Controller processing data that has been validated, consistent with our determination to clean the payroll and to tighten payroll controls. Therefore, the government team is making effort to avert any strike action by the various teacher associations in the coming days, and we'll continue to dialogue until we get them to decline the threat to consummate the threat of the strike action.
How close are you to, cutting a deal with the teacher unions?
I'm done with this interview.
How close are you with the teacher unions to cutting a deal?
Tomorrow's meeting will determine that. Tomorrow we would make a definite pronouncement how we intend to resolve the issues.
The head of compensation and working conditions at NAT, Ahene Kwakwashi, who led the teacher unions at the negotiation table, blamed the deadlock at the meeting on what he describes as a disappointing offer made by government.
We will not have money at the end of February 29th.
So you not agree to any new roadmap?
We will not agree. That is why the meeting has been adjourned. So today's meeting is also inconclusive.
Okay, I know this will be a very difficult question. You presented your case. What did the minister present to you in reaction to your earlier case that you presented?
What the minister presented, we were not interested in that.
What is it?
We are not interested, so I'm not prepared to say it. Ask the minister, he himself will say it.
Some of the teachers whose salaries are in arrears are alleged to have entered the profession using fake certificates. That, according to the Chief Executive Officer of Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, Smith Graham, who was also in the meeting, has put undue pressure on the single spine salary structure.
Anybody who submits fake certificate, I can assure you that once we are sure and convinced that the certificate is fake, the person will not be paid. Some of them would have taken the salaries already, but I'm sure we'll chase them and get the money refunded to the state.
Would you say that this places undue burden on the single spine salary structure?
Well, definitely, because assuming these illegal ones are not there, what it means is the government would have been able to make certain savings, no matter how small the savings is, to be able to do with other things. Now, all these things come together for us to have the huge wage bill that we are having. And so if we have this huge wage bill and we can be sure that some of this wage bill is as a result of illegal payments, as a result of fake certificates, as a result of all sorts of things, we will be able to deal with it.
He is, however, of the view that the ongoing exercise will bring some relief to the salary structure. The two parties are expected to meet again on Wednesday.
No, your mandate now is to have...
Members of Parliament are blaming the Bank of Ghana for the microfinance scam that so far has resulted in the loss of millions of Ghana cedis of depositors' funds.
They argue the situation could have been avoided if the Monitoring and Supervision Department of the bank was up to its responsibilities. Finance Minister Seth Terkper, in a statement to Parliament on steps being taken by government to protect depositors' funds with microfinance companies, explained the license of especially DKM has been revoked, whilst measures are underway to sell off its properties to settle depositors.
The finance minister, speaking on the floor of Parliament, revealed that DKM diverted 77 million Ghana cedis out of 115 million Ghana cedis it collected from depositors to its 6 subsidiary companies. He described the situation which resulted in the loss of capital by a large number of people in the region as unfortunate. According to the finance minister, a moratorium was placed on operations of DKM Diamond after an audit by the Financial Intelligence Center and Chartered Accountants firm Loberheit and Partners concluded that the company was operating in violation of the law regulating the banking sector.
The company was incorporated on 3rd April 2013 and was granted a license to operate as a microfinance company on 25th October 2013. Mr. Speaker, the company was attracting deposits from the public at rates of interest which recently ranged between 40% per quarter and 55% for 2 months, which Bank of Ghana deemed unrealistic and unsustainable. It also persistently violated the provisions in Act 673, such as limits on borrowings and credit exposures. All efforts to address the problems by Bank of Ghana proved futile.
He indicated that the audit also confirmed weaknesses relating to misreporting to the Bank of Ghana and mismatch of the assets and liabilities, which were factors considered before the revocation of their license. Finance Minister Tekwe said measures are underway to avoid a repeat of the scam. Some customers of the affected financial institutions have secured court order to confiscate property belonging to the companies.
The Bank of Ghana requested the Financial Intelligence Center, FIC, to freeze the accounts of the microfinance company and its affiliated companies to enable investigations to be conducted into its affairs. A moratorium was also placed on its operations, and Loban, Hyde and Partners, a firm of chartered accountants, was appointed to carry out a special audit on the operations of DKM Microfinance Limited. The audit revealed that total deposit liabilities of DKM DML amounted to 115.24 million Ghana cedis, as against a total cash deposit of 10.8 million Ghana cedis. An amount of 77.26 million Ghana cedis was also diverted to DKM DML's subsidiary companies. Mr. Speaker, the audit also confirmed weaknesses such as misreporting to Bank of Ghana, mismatches of assets and liabilities, weak government structures, among others. DKM has made several promises to pay its customers, but these have not materialized. The Bank of Ghana has initiated action to revoke DKM's license, and the process of liquidating the assets for the company and its subsidiary to pay off depositors has commenced.
Contributing to the statement, some members of parliament, especially those from the Bonahafo region, blamed the Bank of Ghana for reneging on its responsibilities to protect depositors from activities of scammers.
This company was 100% owned by the people of Ghana. It floated shares on the Ghana Stock Exchange, and the people of this country are still holding at least 67% of the shares. So the major shareholder is represented by the Minister of Finance. And I'm very surprised that given the number of workers who have been sent home, their families and so on, we on this side of the House, even as ranking and of the Committee of Food, Agriculture and Cocoa Affairs, are feeling the effects, because families are calling and appealing to us to intervene. And of course, we don't have the power.
Your question.
The question I'm asking the minister is still to do with the urgency of the situation and what has been done about it up to now. It appears to me from the answers he's given that there's nothing that has been done.
Meanwhile, in a related development, the Finance Minister said Tekwe told Parliament that 15,000 tons of cocoa beans were imported into the country from Côte d'Ivoire by the cocoa processing companies in the country.
Responding to a question put before him, the Finance Minister, however, said the practice is not strange.
Mr. Speaker, with your kind permission, I wish to effect a correction. Second paragraph, line 4. The figure should be 15,500. 15,500. Mr. Speaker, I proceed to answer the question. Mr. Speaker, data from Ghana Cocoa Board shows that 15,500, again, tons of light crop cocoa beans were imported by Barry Callebaut Ghana Limited from Côte d'Ivoire in the 2014-2015 crop year. The Ghana Cocoa Board granted permission for this for this importation, as it normally does. Mr. Speaker, indeed, this is not the first time cocoa beans are being imported into the country. The records available show that this started in 2005. In fact, in 2008, the same company, Barry Calibut Ghana Limited, imported 15,500 tons of light crop cocoa beans into the country from Nigeria and Togo. They likewise imported 7,000 tons from Nigeria and 8,500 tons from Togo. Cocoa Board normally restricts the supply from its light crop, which is limited, and therefore at any time in which the light crop is not adequate, it grants permission to the processors to bring in the produce. So I believe that the policy has not changed.
In other news, the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference appears pretty bent on getting to know where President John Dramani Mahama stands as far as the legalization of same-sex marriage is.
And the bishops have already issued a statement on this matter, but speaking to Joy News on the sidelines of the second plenary assembly of the West African Catholic Bishops, Most Reverend Joseph Osei-Bonsu asked the government to show leadership on the issue and put it to rest once and for all.
Well, it's not that we are waging a huge war. The teaching of the Catholic Church on homosexuality is clear. The church doesn't accept same-sex marriage. In the church's view, a marriage is something between a man and a woman. God created Adam and Eve. God did not create Adam and Adam or Eve and Eve. So marriage should be between a man and a woman. And so this whole business of same-sex marriage is foreign to Ghanaian culture and also foreign to Christianity. Christianity doesn't tolerate it. We look at the Bible, there are so many passages that talk against that kind of thing. And so we just want people in Ghana, people in the sub-region, to stand for the truth that a same-sex marriage is wrong. And that we should not bow to pressure from America and Europe. Sometimes they say, if you don't respect so-called gay rights, we'll not give you aid, like happened at the time of President Mills. And I liked him for his stand. He said, this is against our culture, it's against our religion, so you can keep your aid.
But that stance, shouldn't it prevail now? Should the current president equally follow suit?
That's what I expect the current president to say, but he has not been able to say that yet.
You are not hopeful he will say that?
I hope he says it, but he hasn't said it.
But some say it's a diplomatic issue.
It's not a matter of diplomatic issue. The truth should be said. And so you have to know where you stand on the matter. So you're either for it or against it. But if you say it's a matter of a people's choice and human rights, then you are dodging the issue.
Our next story is not about diplomacy. It's not about legalization of same-sex. This is about farmers. And those in the Ahanta West district or the Western region, they are very much unhappy as they are yet to be paid compensation for lands taken from them for use by companies in the oil and gas sector.
Over 200 of them at Abuadi, a farming community in the district who have had their farms destroyed, say the compensation due them runs into several thousands of cedis. Apart from the compensation, though, the farmers are also concerned at the rate at which farmlands are being taken over by the oil and gas sector. Justice Beidou has more.
A drive through Ghana's oil heartland. The evidence is everywhere. Signs of a booming local economy. Here, where green forest once stood, new structures are springing up by the day. Right behind me is a fish pond valued at about 25,000 cedis. This fish pond cannot be used again because it's been blocked by works from industrial companies that are working here in Abuadi, a town in the Ahanta West district. This is just one of many farms that has now been destroyed by works related with the oil and gas industry in the Western region. This is the reason why many farmers in this area are now out of work. Many of them, now with livelihoods on the line, are up in arms.
Osajifo Rower Steven, aka ORS.
Osajifo, who put together this group of farmers to protest their loss, himself has had his 20,000 cedi worth farm destroyed.
The chiefs and their landowners have sold all the land at Hunter West. So as now I'm speaking, we don't have any land, or let me put in agriculture land at Hunter West. Likewise, the whole Western region, because the oil is in Western region.
This and more are some of the injustices that local farmer support group Tractor is working to address.
Hello. Welcome to Bibove Tractor.
Thank you.
The rate at which the agricultural land are being converted to industrial purposes is a cause for concern. In the near future, there will be a very high food insecurity in the Western region, so something needs to be done.
With the oil industry itself struggling with plummeting global prices, many in this region, including farmers, are not yet sure what the future holds. What they are certain about, though, is a major food crisis that looms as they sit helpless. Justice Beidou, Joy News, Abuadi.
Justice Beidou. I miss my days as a reporter. Anyway, that'll be it for the news.
Stay with us. When we come back, we've got the newspapers for you.